folks. Pardon the sun. Pardon me looking like a pumpkin, but it is deer hunting season and I'm out in the woods a little bit. So I just performed a scratch test on my methyl plum. I transplanted this plum tree. It's about 4.5 feet tall this spring, along with another plum tree which is doing fantastic, and that one is the bubblegum plum. I bought that one because it'll pollinate the methyl, but the methyl is self-pollinating, but 2 plum trees is better than 1. And the bubblegum plum, even though I don't like bubblegum and it's supposed to taste like bubblegum, it makes good plum sauce, which I really enjoy. When I transplanted, I was pretty sure that it didn't look good at all. It didn't show any signs of life whatsoever, but they do come dormant. So, but the other one, the bubblegum plum, already had buds on it, you know, so, and that took off really, really nicely. But this one here, I gave it from spring to fall, babied it, watered it. It didn't look good. It never budded out. So I reached out to Stark Brothers, and I really like their quality of trees and plants that I've gotten over the years. And I will continue going through Stark Brothers for any transplants, as far as trees and berries and bushes and nuts and whatever. So I contacted them, and they asked me to do a scratch test, which is what I am doing here. And I took one in midsummer, and it showed it was dead. It didn't look good at all. There was no green, it was no moisture. But I figured I would wait until fall. And here it is, late fall. It is November 8th. I did a scratch test, took a couple of pictures, and I am going to mail it to them, because that's when I reached out to them. They said they require a photo for the scratch test. So I took 2 or 3 photos, be sending that to them. So they're pretty good at honoring their word from what I've read. I've never ever, all these years, have ever had a problem with anything that I've ordered from them. So I don't expect I'll have a problem getting a replacement. But this will stay in the ground until then. I'll have to rework the soil up and all of that, right? I hope they send it this fall. We'll see, right? Before ground freezes. So I am out in one of my areas that I don't think I've ever shown. This is a spot that I cleared out. I'm still clearing it out. But this is, I don't know if you can see that brush pile. That whole brush pile came from this area here. That was a lot of work. Everything was done by hand. And that I did that this spring. And of course that pile has settled down considerably. What I plan on putting here to help pollinate my trees here is I'm going to put flowers there. Probably African marigold. Seems that the bees really, really like the African marigolds. I'll start them inside the house this spring, and I'll transplant them, probably 1 per box. And they get 3-ish feet tall. They bush out really nicely, folks, and they have so many flowers on them. And like I said, the bees really like them. In front, I'll just put something there. I don't know what I'll put there. But that's all in place. That is compost. It's a mixture of leaves, pine needles, aged compost. I think about 1/3 of each compost bin that I've got. So I mixed it up really good. And that's all ready to plant in next spring. So I figured while I was over here looking like a pumpkin, I would bring you along, do the scratch test. It's a very simple process, folks. The only thing about having to do a scratch test is probably the the little fruit tree isn't going to make it, and in this case it didn't make it. So that's going to set me back a little bit because these are standard plum trees. So it's going to take a while for them to get established, grow, blossom, fruit, and all of that. So this one here coming like it did kind of set me back quite a bit, at least a year, I'm guessing. The other ones are doing good. This is where I've got my cherry trees. I've got fruit over here. There's still a lot of cleaning to do behind you, behind the camera. There's a few saplings. There's quite a few popple in here. A few sapling maple. But it gets plenty of light over here. I think I left my damper open on my stove. So I've got to cut this short. I can see smoke coming out of it, so that piece of wood caught. There's also a mound of dirt over here with stumps in it from years and years ago. And there's saplings growing right up through it. That's something that I cannot do by hand. So that pile will probably be left there. It'll just be left there. So I guess that's it. I did yesterday divide my comfrey up. Matter of fact, I've got 6 comfrey plants around my fruit trees over here, and I transplanted some down where the unamended soil was for my Jerusalem artichoke. I worked that whole bed up. I put another board up on the low facing side. I put 5 comfrey plants down there, and then I'll plant something in front of that. And again, that's down there by my apple orchard to help pollinate. So you've got to have your pollinating flowers. You might as well have something that everything likes to gather pollen from. Put them around your fruit trees, put them around your berry trees, and right. So I've got to go tend to my fire, folks. So I hope you all have a good day. I apologize for being a pumpkin, but I'm a safe pumpkin out in the woods with 2 forms of orange on. I am in short sleeves. It's really nice out. It's like 54 degrees. No rain in the forecast until early next week. I'll take every bit of that. Y'all be good. And for the person who made a comment, I haven't responded to the comments, folks. Maybe I responded to 1 or 2 since my last video, which was election day, is when I showed you that flag that I made. For the person who made a comment asking if I was still crying because my candidate didn't win, if that's why I haven't put out any videos. I haven't put out any videos, folks, because I have been busy, right? And who said that person was my candidate? If you have followed me for any amount of time, if you know how I live, then you know probably, more than likely, which candidate I voted for. Right? So, do I think the world has gone batshit crazy? Yes, I do. Do I think the side that lost is taking this a little too graciously? Yes, I do. Do I think the other foot is about to drop? Yes, I do. For the folks that thinking because the other candidate won, if you think you're out of the woods, if you think life just got better, it shows promise. Do you think that transition is going to go down as smoothly as the other side that lost is portraying it out to be? Long ways till January 20, folks, right? I have a hard time trusting. I've seen the shenanigans. In my deepest part of my body, I feel they're taking it too lightly. They're making it appear like they're the better person. After all the nonsense they've put put the other candidate through? Do you think all of a sudden the people have spoke? They're just going to let this go lightly? The other shoe, in my opinion, is going to drop. Whatever that is, I do not know. It could be anything at this point. I hope I'm wrong. I'm kind of thinking that a lot of people are going to get an awful surprise when they wake up one morning. The team that won are gloating. They think their life just changed the opposite direction. It's a start. Again, I'm waiting for that other shoe to drop. I'm not being pessimistic. I am just saying something doesn't feel right. It's too easy. It's too easy. That's all I'm going to say about that. I love you all, no matter who you voted for. I love you all. I want peace. I want happiness. I want everybody to prosper. But I don't think it's over yet, folks. Keep your head held high on both sides. And we'll just see where this takes us, folks.